Hello, Sagittarius. This is your reading for the week of April 30th, or when you hear it and it resonates, and it will not be for every Sagittarius. I didn't know I was going to do you tonight, and as soon as I started walking towards the cards, I got Sagittarius and I saw this image. The image was you standing very solemnly, watching a field burn. Now, not to panic. This is the impression that I was getting with this was it is what a farmer would do with a field after it's been harvested. And when I looked it up, what it was saying was that typically this was something that was done after a harvest to clear away any debris that was left, to clear away any weeds or seeds for something that was not meant to be regenerated. And that it was more of a natural process because it didn't use chemicals. Now, what I find really interesting about this as I'm looking at the images and asking for information, what I'm seeing is that you've lit the grass. You've lit this very, very dried up old grass that's there. And now it's very gently just spreading out over the rest of this small plot. And you're standing there with a sense of solemnity, completion. It's with a sense of confidence and finality, like this is it. So it feels to me like whatever this is, whether or not it is a situation that you're experiencing with your family or your home, and I say that specifically because the size of this plot that I'm seeing is more the size of a residential property rather than a field or a pasture. So whether or not it is with your family, a family situation, a home situation, or a really specific thing, what I'm also feeling is that this is really very, very much, the cards that come up tell me that this is really about you being able to, part of what you're burning away. Oh, thank you. All right. You're burning away something that's left. What you've already harvested from this plot, it's done. That doesn't need to grow anymore. You've learned and gotten and been nourished by it to the degree that that could help you and serve you in your growth. Now, what's happening is you are being given the opportunity as you're burning this last layer off of this old thing that's been harvested and is now no longer of service to you. It's preparing you for the future by allowing you to clear away any old beliefs that you had, especially things that were imposed upon you in childhood by somebody that made you believe that work was the way to go, that it had to be serious, it had to be done. Now, whether or not this was something that was imposed upon you by others or something that you took on in order to feel confident and feel secure in your life, these are beliefs now that you've gained as a very young person, and now you're getting a chance to burn those off so that you can now start experiencing pleasure. Now, again, it's the understanding with this. The old belief might have been that pleasure was frivolous and that you weren't going to get anywhere, and maybe it was sinful or shameful. But no, what you are now getting to understand is that when you work with heartfelt pleasure, everything becomes easier and more effective. You're also being told as you do this, forgiveness is going to be a big part of this because you might have a tendency sometimes to blame. Blaming is an energy. If we find ourselves blaming other people or judging other people, there's a very great chance that we are blaming or judging ourselves. So when we talk about forgiveness as an energy, it always goes inward towards you and out towards somebody else. Inward towards you. And you know what? Now I'm thinking of the Ho'oponopono prayer. Okay. The Ho'oponopono prayer is the one that comes from Hawaii. It's part of their spiritual tradition. And if I were to say it simply, it would be something like, let me just get it here. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And it's based on the idea that energetically we're always co-creating with somebody. So when we are looking at things in other people that we feel we need to forgive, we also need to understand we've had a part in whatever that relationship has become. Just based on the choice that we made to be in it in the first place. And that can leave us feeling sometimes almost ashamed at the fact that we didn't detect things that we should have detected in hindsight, or that we acted too hastily, we let go of something too soon, or we didn't follow through, whatever. This can really be an energy. The forgiveness energy is reminding you whatever you think you've done wrong or anybody else has done wrong, name it, call it for what it was, and then allow yourself to say, and there's more to this probably that I don't know. So can I let it go? Can I allow this to go too? Whatever it is. And that also includes beliefs, because we can be very, very attached to our beliefs. And sometimes we need to forgive ourselves for having those beliefs, for carrying those, and for letting them affect us in a way that ceased to be helpful. So you're being asked here also, notice a name every time you feel an emotion. Name it, breathe, and let it move. Notice how it changes as you breathe. Because the forgiveness card, this says to me it might be tricky sometimes when you're looking back over things. If you're watching solemnly as things burn and you're letting them burn because this is what you know you need to do, you need to let this happen, you can sometimes move out of the solemn, sacred experience of letting something die and letting something go and having taken the action to actually kill it. Kill that belief, kill that behavior, kill that identity. It can be really painful to do that. And it can be really difficult to do that because there can be a lot of emotions around that. So as you are letting things burn, as you are letting this last phase, because it feels like a last phase burn, what I'm also being shown as you're noticing and naming and breathing through it and moving towards forgiveness for the express purpose, you are moving towards forgiveness for the express purpose of letting go of what you needed to let go in your childhood that has affected your beliefs about yourself and work and what you're allowed to do, what is good for your soul, what is in alignment with your higher conscious mind. And that is pleasure. That's going to seem strange. And you know what? For a Sagittarian, play. It's meant to be playful. You're meant to be adventuring and playing. That's so much a part of what your energetic quality is. So if you find something pulling you down, please look at what's clearing. We'll look at what needs to be cleared and cleaned from that. What attachments to the past that you have do you have that you need to forgive? What attachments do you have to behaviors or to personality images that you have of yourself that you've outgrown, that you don't need to keep anymore? And what ones of those were attached to your childhood beliefs that told you this was the best way to be, or that you interpreted as being the best way to be, that you can now let go of? Because when you do that, what I see is, yes, even though this is a small plot, what I'm seeing is over on this side, whoa, a beautiful field, a beautiful pasture with light and gold. And it's just like there is I just heard field of dreams. This is your field of dreams. It's as you burn down this last stuff, you get to move into your field of dreams, and it's a pasture. It's no longer a plot that's locking you in. This is your free reign, Sagittarius. This is beautiful. I leave you with that, my dears. You take care.